Welcome to the Trading with Venus podcast, where we help you establish strong trading habits, generate consistent profits, and create the lifestyle you desire for yourself and your family. Now your host, Raman Gill.
Welcome to Trading with Venus podcast, episode 58. I am your host, Raman Gill. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is our very first show for 2018. So this year, it is my mission to help you make 2018 your best trading year ever. And that applies to me as well. It is my goal to make 2018 my best trading year as well. So this year, a lot of focus will be on trading discipline, making sure we are managing our risk properly, and making sure we are taking the right trades and taking them properly. And also making sure we are enjoying this lifestyle that we are trying to create for ourselves, and we're not stuck behind the screen 24/7. And to kick things off, I have taken myself out of my office, and as you can see, I am shooting in my home, so you can see my house behind me there. If you're watching me on YouTube, if you are listening to me on iTunes or on the audio podcast, I invite you to check out the show on my YouTube channel. You can just do a search for Trading with Venus, and you will see my channel come up. So let's get into it. For the first episode this year, I wanted to start off with how to set up an ideal environment for your trading so you're making the most of your trading time. But before we get into that, let's take a look at some of the things that I have in store for you for 2018. So one of the main things that I'm working on currently is trading a small account. We touched on this topic in the last episode where I shared some strategies on how to become a professional trader. So this year, what I'm going to do is I have already deposited money into that account. We talked about $3,500 account. And right now, I want to take this to the next level. So I am preparing some spreadsheets and also some worksheets for you so that you can follow along with me. And every Friday, I'm going to be starting a new live show. So we'll do a live session and we'll take a look at the week. We'll do a review of our weekly goals and we'll take a look at how this trading account is progressing. So you'll have a chance to look at how I did that week, whether that was a profitable week or not. And you will see the real live results from my trades. You will see what went right, what didn't go right. We'll have a discussion around that. And the idea really is for me to show you how this is done. So we're also going to take a look at the process behind trading professionally. So it does not matter what the size of your account is, but what matters is how are you trading? Are you treating this as a professional or are you still treating this as a hobby? So that will be exciting. We will start off with that next week. So next week, I will share with you the worksheets and spreadsheets that I have put together for you. So it will make it easy for you to follow along with me. But today, before we actually get into the trading, I wanted to do a quick episode on how to set up the ideal environment. So when I first started trading, when I first started trading full-time, I did not know what to do. So before I got into trading full-time, I had been trading part-time for a period of time, about 3 years, and we decided to move after that. So I sold my business and I thought, okay, well, I have some money and I also have some free time on my hands. So why don't I get into trading full-time? So I decided to do just that. I set up an account and I was at home willing to trade full-time. So I just got started. However, I found that I kind of ran into some hurdles, some hiccups along the way. So I tried to find other people, other traders who were trading full-time as well. And I went looking for them. I used to live in Toronto at the time, and I looked online. I went to meetups, and I also looked on Craigslist and things like that. This is a few years ago, 6 or 7 years ago, so Facebook wasn't as big at the time. So I was looking for other successful traders or other, at least full-time traders, and I was not successful. I could not find anybody that I could kind of do this thing full-time with. What I did find though was a mentor, somebody who had put an ad on Craigslist and was wanting to mentor people in the Forex. So I signed up with this person. I remember at the time it was $4,000 that I paid for this person to mentor me. And from him, I learned a few tricks. So what I found out was that he was not really a Forex trader, but he had been trading other instruments for a while. So he did have experience in the trading. And even though I didn't learn a ton from, in terms of Forex from him, but there's some things that I did learn that I have implemented in my life. And over the years, I have found them to be very, very beneficial. And this is the kind of stuff that you do not hear a lot of traders talking about. This is more the behind the scenes type of stuff. So big thing that he told me about, first thing was setting up the right trading environment. And he wanted to come and take a look at my trading space. So I invited him over to my place. And at the time we didn't have kids at the time, so it was just my husband and I. We used to live in a 2-bedroom and a den apartment downtown. So I invited him over and asked him to come take a look at my trading space. So he asked me, okay, where do you trade from? I showed him my laptop and I showed him the couch that I used to sit on to trade from. And even though I had a desk in my den, I never really used it because it just didn't feel that comfortable. It wasn't, very sort of conducive environment to trading. It was like stuck in a little corner, and I just didn't want to be there. So I would much rather trade from my couch because I could look out at the city view. I just had better lighting there. It was just more comfortable. So I used to just sit on my couch, and I used to have my laptop with me, and I would trade from there. First thing he told me was to change my trading environment. If I wanted to be successful in the long term, I needed to change my trading environment. So at this point, I had made money from my trading. I had about a $25,000 account that I started with, and it was already up to $75,000. So as you can see, I had made some money. However, I was starting to, not do things quite the right. I was losing some trades, and I was just mentally, I was facing some problems. So this is where he had come in. So let's start off on that note. First, we'll take a look at what my current trading environment looks like. So this is the first thing I would suggest, is having a separate space to trade from, where it's free of distractions, it is conducive to trading. You actually want to sit there and you have time, quiet time, that you can focus on your charts and you don't have a lot of stuff going on in the background. So even though you may just go there, if you're swing trading, you may only look at your chart once a day or something like that, but you still need some quiet place where you can do your analysis from and you can actually focus on trading. So let's go take a look at what my environment looks like, and I will walk you through what you're looking to create in your trading environment. So here is what my space looks like. So I'll kind of back out a little bit. So this is our front door. This is where you would walk into my house, and to the right of it is my office. My door is closed right now. That's one of the things that I have realized is very important for me. I have small children, and they really like to come sit with mommy. And having a closed door, when my doors are closed, it is a clear signal to them that I am busy at the moment. So if they need me, unless it's urgent, it can wait, and once I'm done, I will handle those things. So this is sort of where you walk in. To the left here is other space here, and to the right, this is my den here, my office. It's not a big office, so it doesn't have to be a huge space, but it does have to be quiet space, which is very important. So let's open the door here and we'll take a look at what it looks like. So as you walk into my door, there's my office there. It's not, like I said, it's not a huge space, but important thing about setting up the space is it's good if you can find a space that has windows. So I have a large window here. I can look outside. It is facing the front of my house, so it's not the
best view from here, but it does give me a lot of natural light. I tend to spend a lot of time in my office, so it's important for me to get some natural light in. And as you can see, there is snow outside. It's been very, very cold here. This week is a little bit warmer, so the snow is melting a bit, but overall we've been getting a lot of snow and it has been quite warm. So that's one thing I recommend, is having some space that has doors, so it's closed and quiet space. Secondly, there is a window that you can look out. Next thing is just making your space conducive to trading, and by that I mean not just in terms of having a closed door, but making it into what you really want to come to. For me, I like positive things, so I like positive things. Here I have a picture that says something magical is about to happen, so I like to surround myself with positive things. And up top there I have another one that's really around mindset that says she believed she could, so she did. That's another thing I have. I have some pictures in my office here, a little picture there. I painted my office purple because that's a nice color. I like that. So I really wanted to make this into an environment that I would want to be in. I have a little bookshelf in the corner there, and as you can see, not a huge space. I have some flowers there, my filing cabinet. So not a ton of room here, but it is conducive. It is mine. It is to my taste. So that's very important. Turning into a space that you would want to work from. So that's the first thing, having closed door, quiet space, something you want to work from. Second thing that I would recommend is a comfortable chair. This is something I had not thought of, and this is what he he made this into a huge point. He really wanted me to get a comfortable chair, not to be trading from my couch. A reason for that was because when you are trading from your couch hunched over, I was hunching over my laptop, and that is not the best way. In the long term, I would start developing back pain and neck pain, and that's not what I want, because we spend so much time as a day trader. I tend to spend a lot of time in front of my screens, so it's important that we have a comfortable chair to sit in. So this chair that I purchased, he actually recommended a chair to me that was very expensive at the time, at least expensive for me. It was $1,500, and I didn't want to spend that kind of money on a chair. It's a chair, for crying out loud. But he told me to go check out the chair, sit in it and see how this feels. So I went and did that, but I didn't want to spend $1,500 on a chair, so I went and got something for $600 at a liquidation place, but it had the same type of back support, same type of support as the other chair did. So that was very important. So what I'm trying to say here is you don't need to spend even $600 on a chair. Things have changed quite a bit since then, and now you can actually get a chair that is very, very comfortable, but you can maybe get it for $100 because there are a lot of gamers that are using these chairs. These gaming chairs can be really, really comfortable because they're spending so much time sitting in these chairs that they have come a long way these days, and you can get a really comfortable chair for a relatively cheap price. So that's very important. Second thing, first thing is a proper office space, or even a dense, someplace quiet. And second is having a comfortable chair because we spend so much time. Next thing that he recommended I did, and I did take his advice on that, was getting multiple screens. And if you're a swing trader, you may not need multiple screens because you're only looking at charts. You're not spending too much time looking at charts. But as a day trader, I want to see what the prices are doing. So I do have 6 screens set up here, and I have different charts on the screens, and I take a look at fractional disparity, what the different crosses are doing at any given time. So I have found multiple screens really help. However, I didn't start off with a 6-screen setup. I actually started out with a 3-screen setup even after he had recommended it, because I just didn't have the room to support 6 screens. So I started off with my laptop, and I had attached 3 different monitors to it. I got this video adapter that you could plug in through your through the laptop, and it would allow you to attach additional screens. But what I have now is I actually have a desktop that I use for my screens. Here it just has my charting platformer on it. It's not super fancy. It does have good memory and good CPU in it, but other than that, I just use it for my screens. So it's not really, it's not doing a ton of work. So you just want something that has good memory, because when we have multiple charts open, like I do here, it does take memory. It uses up a lot of memory. So you do want something that has memory in it and enough CPU for you to make it fast. And I also recommend having a direct network connection to the computer. I usually like a plugged-in connection. That way you're not losing your feed as you are trading. And another thing about having a closed office space is I also have a news feed open at all times on my computer. It's not showing here right now. I usually have it on my laptop. And when the news feed is on, it's noisy. So when I trade the London session, everybody in my house is sleeping. So it's very important that I have a closed door so that other people in my house can actually get some sleep while I'm trading, and it's not noisy and bothering them. So those are the first 3 things. And another thing that may not seem very important, but it is, and this is again something that my coach had recommended, or my mentor had recommended, was actually getting multivitamins. So again, the multivitamins don't have to be super fancy. It's very important as traders that we pay attention to our lifestyle, to our health. And because of that, because if we are not healthy, or if we are not feeling good, we won't be able to trade properly, because our mind won't be focused and our mind won't be as sharp. So we need to make sure we are taking proper care of ourselves. And one of the things that you want to do is make sure you take a multivitamin. It doesn't matter what kind of multivitamin you take, as long as you are replenishing your body and also drinking enough water. I always have a big glass or a jug full of water while I sit there, because I do tend to forget water, and I really have to remind myself to do that, to actually drink the water. So making sure you replenish the nutrients in your body, drinking water, and taking multivitamins are important.
The last thing I want to talk about is the importance of getting enough sleep. So I trade the London session. I recently switched to trading the London session, and I'm finding that it's very difficult to get enough sleep as a result of that. So one of the things that I do to help me with sleeping, falling asleep, and then going back to sleep after the London session is using melatonin. So melatonin is a naturally occurring substance in the body, and it's a hormone that our body already provides. And it was recommended to me by my doctor. So what he said was that because our body needs to fall asleep, if you don't want to use sleeping pills, this is a good way to kind of get your body to produce that hormone so that the body will fall asleep. Now, again, if you want to check it out, please check with your physician or and do your research before you try this out. It may not be for everyone, but I do find that it helps me get to sleep, and then also when I wake up, I don't feel as groggy because I'm not really taking any sleeping pills. So this is a good way to sort of overcome that lack of sleep or the issue where we're not able to recover from our trading. And we do need to make sure that our brains are sharp and we are able to make decisions quickly. So that's why it's very, very important for us that we get enough sleep so that we are able to perform at our optimum levels. Another thing that I have tried is called a PEMF machine. So this may not be for everyone, but if you are interested, you can check it out on Google. The one that I use is called IMRS, and that's the mod, or that's the make that I use. But as I understand, there are many different kinds that are found out there, and they kind of vary in price. So the way I use this is I just lie on it. It's an electromagnetic machine, and it helps fix your circadian rhythm. Circadian rhythm is the natural rhythm of your body that coincides with day and night. And people who work night shifts like myself, or people who are not able to fall asleep, or people who have their circadian rhythm messed up, this is a good machine that helps the body recover. It is also used by professional athletes because it actually helps the body recover from strain the professional athletes put on the body. So as a result, this is something that they use as well. But of course, we are not athletes, but we are professional traders, so we do need to make sure that we are sharp when we are taking our trades and analyzing the markets. So this is something that I have used. Again, if you are interested in checking it out, you can just do a Google search for IMRS. And as I understand, there are many different makes of this machine. This is just one of the makers, one of the manufacturers, but there are others that you can check out as well. So that's all for today's show. Hope you enjoyed this episode. This was just a little behind the scenes information. And also I just wanted to speak on the importance of setting the right trading environment. Now, you don't need to implement all of these things, but I do suggest you give some thought to the trading environment that you have at home, and what that setup needs to be for you to trade at optimal levels. So this is the first thing that we need to keep in mind, creating the right environment. Just like athletes, we need to make sure before we jump into our battlefield, we are fully prepared, and that means we are prepared in our environment, we are prepared in our body, and we also have sharp minds. So that's all for today. Next week, we'll take a look at the process I will follow when trading the small account. I will share some worksheets with you, and I'll show you how you can follow along with me as we do this. And we will also start doing weekly reviews. So that will be a live show that I will do every Friday. And during this show, we'll take a look at how the previous week went. We'll take a look at the account that I'll be trading, and what went well, what didn't go well, that sort of information. And I'll share further details on that with you next week. So that's it. For now, you guys have a wonderful trading week, and I will see you next time.
If you want consistency in your trading, we invite you to join our daily market analysis calls, where we provide the levels to find the best entries and targets on an intraday basis. For a 1-week free trial, please visit www.tradingwithvenus.com. Thanks for joining us today. With much gratitude, your show host, Raman Gill.